But be very careful with the strategy. And this is why. One, you can't do this on people who are too hurt and too traumatized and who have a history of being in these types of one-sided, horrible power dynamics and type of abusive relationships. You can't do this to people like that. They're too battered, they're too beaten, and they're not going to react with pleasure and with wanting more. It's really not going to happen, and it might turn them off and push you away. And most importantly, don't do this too early. You can't be acting harsh and inflicting pain on people early on, right? And the reason why is because they must like you first. Right? They need to develop an emotional bond. And this harshness, people, I'm telling you, man, I want to emphasize this. The harshness that I'm not talking about is being evil, abusive. We're not gaslighting people. We're not doing limerence. We're not using people's traumas. We're not doing any of that kind of stuff. Okay, so all these freaking angels out there that love commenting on my videos before watching it, shut the hell up, okay? Watch the video first. Now, I'm not asking you guys to be a bunch of Terminators. I'm not. But what people have to understand is that your niceness doesn't come from a place of from a good place. It comes from a place of fear of displeasing people. And if you get over that fact to your partners, you're going to be more pleasurable. Because nice people who only show us niceness, people who are always sweet, always forgiving, always there, they're nice, but they bore people to death. Because it's so consistent, and at the end of the day, it's not natural. You are a human animal, and you are complex, and you have complex emotions and contradictions. And for people to truly respect you, they need to see those contradictions, those darker sides to your personality, because it's your darkness, the harshness, is what gives contours, is the contours to your personality. Only showing them a nice, flattened image makes you more two-dimensional, makes you more predictable, and it's boring to people, and you keep people repressed. So we're going to talk about how to use harshness and kindness and why that makes people fall in love. It's truly important, people. And any person that you dated that you genuinely fell in love and that you were there for a long time implemented this, whether they did it on purpose or not. Okay, now understand this. Be careful with this strategy. Okay, maybe I should put this in the beginning. By the way, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, and you guys want to apply the strategy on how to mix harshness and kindness without going to prison and without going to hell, you guys can schedule a one-on-one phone call or scan the QR code, work with me one-on-one. You can see it right there. And then you'll be able to get one-on-one consultation with me on how to apply the strategy without going straight to hell, people. Okay, so let's begin. Let's continue with the video. Click in the description down below to work with me one-on-one, or just scan the QR code, or else I'm closing the channel. So remember, to apply this, they must like you first. And the reason why is because your harshness is used as an intensifier. You know, it intensifies what's already there. Okay, and harshness isn't absence, by the way, people. That's not what I'm talking about. It's not absence. So it's actually kind of different. You use absence in the beginning at first. When you first get into meet people, you do use absence, right? Because it makes people think about you and fantasize about you. This strategy is really about creating the love and intensifying. Why am I going like this? And intensifying. This says a lot about me if I'm doing this, man. What I want you to remember, and this is something that I learned in my life, is that your niceness draws people in. That is a fact. Your niceness draws people in, makes people warm, makes people want to be around you. But it loses all of its effect pretty quickly. They need tension, right? If you're just nice, there's no tension. People need tension, and it is created through creating a sense of anxiety and suspense, right? And that suspense is something that nice people just don't have, right? It's the same suspense you feel, and this is why I think online dating is so horrible, because online dating removes the suspense, right? The suspense of, I met you and I don't know if you like me. I met you and I don't know if you're into me. I have to wait a few weeks to find that out. As opposed with online, it's much quicker. So there's no tension. There's anxiety, but there's no tension. And that's why relationships that you meet through online, it isn't just the fact that you don't know them, you don't know their history, but it's also there's a different quality when you go through that tension of finding out whether or not they like you. Like, there is a different quality, and that's why tension here is so important. You guys can use that analogy of dating as an analogy that you need the tension. And just niceness destroys it all, right? So you must create it. Your niceness comes from a fear of displeasing. Get over that fear and it'll bring you great power to please. Why? Because people will forgive your harshness. That's what nice people don't understand. People will forgive your niceness. They're more forgiving of that than you imagine, right? Your fear of not being nice is because you think that they're not gonna forgive you. What you have to understand is that you have to understand human nature. You don't know people. That's why you're afraid of the strategy. You don't know them. People genuinely want to feel like they want to play the victim. People love playing the victim. Have you not paid attention to that? People love playing the victim. They love complaining about their partners. They love complaining about that something's wrong with their lives. People love to do that. They love to feel bad about themselves. And you have the magical power of them, of giving them the ability to play the victim, but also removing the pain from them. You're going to be the source of pain and the source of pleasure. And what you have to understand, this is the dynamic in every one of our relationships that we love someone. The one that we love the most has also inflicted the most pain. That's just how it is. It's truly that simple. And when you're too nice, you're overriding a natural part of relationships. Your niceness is literally not natural. It's not a natural part of how humans genuinely have connections with each other. We all displease each other. And if you remove people the ability for them to displease you, it's almost like removing a child from bad bacteria. You're going to make that little motherfucker allergic to everything on this planet, okay? Anyways. So remember, what you're doing is creating tension so that you can remove it. You're playing a song with their emotions, and the song is love, with the different notes of pain and pleasure. All right. So never let them get too comfortable. Show them some anger. Create some anxiety. Show them that you've been displeased by them. Punish them for their disrespect. Right. People have misogynistic yearnings. And because you don't think that, you don't understand that, because you're so caught up with appearances, with how people tell you the way they are, that you're completely missing out at the fact that people genuinely love to feel pain, right? Some people, and the reason why is because pain releases repressed emotions. That's what you have to understand. Pain releases repressed emotions, and those repressed emotions, people want to release it. Right? They have repressed desires that they want to release through pain. Some people only listen when you're hard on them, right? Like it's like my students. I have art students, and I notice that when I'm really nice to them, they pay attention, but there's a lack of paying attention. But when I am cold with them, when I give them the instruction, but there's a certain coldness, a certain distance between me and them, my coldness makes them pay deeper attention to me. My coldness, my lack of praising people, my lack of like always like being super nice, like, you know, a nice teacher, makes people kind of afraid of me as a teacher. But also when I'm happy, when I smile, it makes them even happier, and they pay deeper attention. You've seen the paintings from my students. They're pretty fucking good, right? And I understand that method of mixing harshness and kindness, where I don't praise them all the time. And I'm not mean all the time. I rarely praise and I rarely criticize. But when it does happen, it hits. When I do criticize, it hurts. But when I praise, it gives a lot of pleasure. But for it to give a lot of pleasure, it needs to really hurt first. You know what I'm saying? So people have those misogynistic journeys. Some people only listen to you when you're hard on them, when you're harsh to them. Some people only pay attention. Some people are just habitual line steppers. People who consistently disrespect you, and the only way for them to actually be in your life is for you to put some power, inflict some pain, put the foot down, and put the gavel on the fucking thing, and let them know that, hey, I don't like this, and verbally express your anger, verbally do something about it, not just like fucking hit them, you know what I'm saying? But let them don't mince your words when somebody displeases you, right? Why? Because it makes them wake up. Because some people think you're weak, and so they'll test you to see whether or not you're weak, right? All the niceness you're giving them makes them think that you're weak, and so you put them in their place by letting them know that you're not weak, right? Some people are just bored with their lives and they want drama, and so they stir shit up just to create some drama in their lives, right? And so and also some people genuinely have hidden guilt. right? They maybe there's something bad in their lives, nobody knows it, and so they secretly want to get punished, and so they act out in the hopes that somebody could put them in their place, right? So let's talk about this. How can you then, understanding this, how could you learn to inflict and be harsh to people in a way that doesn't push them away? Okay, let's talk about this. Well, many ways to do this. One, criticism, right? Harsh criticism based on something true. If they did something bad, you let them know they did something bad. And you don't mince your words. You don't try to sound nice. You don't try to sound accommodating. You let them know. You criticize them for something that they did, right? And it doesn't, and honestly, it doesn't matter how harsh you are, right? Just don't be an asshole with it. But literally criticizing people. Say, hey, look, I don't like the way you're doing this. And make sure that is real. For example, if you're a boss, right? One of the things that you notice is that people pay closer attention to you when you're criticizing them. There's a certain sense of insecurity that criticism based on something real or even fake creates a desire to get your validation, especially if your criticism is not with a freaking smile, right? You know how it is. Even dogs, right? When you're criticizing a dog, don't laugh and don't sound happy, because the dog is gonna catch up to that. Or even a silly child, when you're criticizing the kid, stop sounding. A child would try to get you to laugh so that you could like not criticize them, right? And it's the same thing. It's like, don't laugh at the motherfucker, man. Like, stay harsh on them. Stay with the angry look. Let them know that you're not kidding. And what that will do is that it'll create a desire to get your validation. It's just that simple. And like Napoleon did this, right? Where he would instantly like hire someone or instantly fire someone, right? I call it the Napoleonic method, where he uses kindness and harshness and mixes it, and he'll instantly promote someone who did an act of bravery who most people didn't know about, right? But then if he notices a group of soldiers being cowards, he'll literally call them out and say, hey, strip them of their ranks, they're gone. Instantly we'll do some shit like that. So people would know what gets them happy, bravery, and people understood what makes them mad, being coward, and then he would make sure to outwardly like reward and punish people, and then everyone in the army would understand that if you behave well, you could get instantly promoted. But if you're a coward, you could get instantly demoted, even though you think nobody sees you, right? Those types of things is a way that people use harshness and kindness. And what this does is that it envelops people emotionally. It intensifies whatever emotion people have for you when you learn to mix pain and pleasure. It just intensifies it. And like I always talk about, this works. There's a difference between pulling away and this, right? The difference is this: you use pulling away when you're first getting to meet people. You don't criticize them. When you're meeting people, you don't criticize them because you have no space to do that. So you just pull away. You speak with your actions. But once they like you, once you have some emotional capital, some emotional currency, then you can start verbally telling people what you don't like. And what you want to do is don't be afraid to demand, and don't be afraid to tell them what you're demanding, right? Because and don't be afraid to tell them what you think they're doing wrong. And make sure when you do that, there's a coldness to your face. This will make people feel ashamed. This will make people feel bad, especially if it's real. If it's a real thing that you're doing, and this is that people call this conflict resolution. Just make sure that you don't use fucking Melissa's voice or freaking Bob the program and trying to please his hot girlfriend type of shit, right? Because then people will sense that and they'll take advantage of it, and they'll say, man, bro, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You fix your own shit. I'm not listening to you. Like, they'll do that shit if they think you're bluffing, right? Now, we can see why this strategy works so well is because narcissists use this. Narcissists, they love gaslighting people. They act like you did something wrong when in reality you didn't. And what you'll notice is that it does work. It does engage your emotions, like it does make you like them more. And the problem with that is that it's being hijacked by someone who's taking advantage of a real part of human nature. And that's these emotions are there to allow you to go through conflict with someone and not break up with them. It makes you long for them whenever you do something wrong. And so the harshness is really a counterbalancing system. The reaction to harshness with wanting to please them is a healthy thing. But the problem is that some people just take advantage of it. You know, they know that if they guilt you, if they do something wrong, but then act like you're the one that did something wrong, it does work. It really does work. Because you're just a human. You're not, you know, this is a vulnerability we all have, you know, and as long as you're not gaslighting people, as long as you're using the harshness only in reaction to people's inconsistencies, to people's BS, right? Because sometimes you are required to be harsh. Sometimes you are required to lay the law down when they're fucking up. Like, you have to do that sometimes. And if you don't do that because you're shy, you're scared, you don't know how they're gonna react to it, well then you're short-circuiting an important part of people falling in love with you. And that's, there needs to be some harshness. There needs to be. Because in that harshness is when people soften up. It's when people want to get more of your validation. It's when they want to impress you after they did something wrong, right? So you can see how, even though I am telling you a strategy that narcissists use, I'm also telling you how to use it and be responsible with it, because it is a power that's used. This could be used also to, like I said, to get loyalty from your employees, right? Where you're not just a nice boss, you also fire people. You also are willing to cut people off. You also are willing to call people out for doing the wrong thing. You call people out for being lazy. You're willing to do that. Whether or not you're my friend or not, hey, I'm noticing you being lazy lately. Like, dude, I like you, but I will fire you if you do that shit, right? It can seem harsh. Some people might say, dude, that's your friend. But yeah, bro, exactly, that's my friend. Yeah, exactly. But you better not, I'm gonna fire him. You know? And that is a quality of a great leader, but it's also a quality of a great lover. Right? Someone who is willing to put their lovers in their place, especially when they're fucking up, right? Because then the person that they're dating will respect that. They will respect that. You're not scared. You're not scared to be yourself. You're not scared to stand up to people's BS. You're open to express yourself, and you're not afraid how they're gonna react, right? Because then when you do that, I'm telling you, most of your relationships, they're going to be deeply in love with you, but also deeply respect you. This is how the Mindful Attraction University, taught by Professor Alex, where I teach you all of the strategies to improve your dating life and all of the courses that I have all in one place. And you can get it at a highly discounted rate. So that means you can purchase all of my basic courses without the bundles, usually at $600. You can purchase it now at $399, people, not $400. $399 for psychological purposes. Yeah, that's right. Oh my fucking God, he's showing us a scam. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Father Alex does that. So that means you could get emotional mastery, the psychological game of attraction, the feminine woman, natural chemistry, charisma blueprint, and nice girl at a discounted rate. But then, if you want to get the master's degree of the Mindful Attraction University, taught by Professor Alex, you could get the premium version, where usually all of the courses cost $1,200. Now you can purchase them all at $799 or 4 payments of $200. You guys can now also do like a payment plan. Feminine woman, emotional mastery, the whole shebang with all of the bonuses at one lower price, people. And with that, honestly, this is the type of thing that I know that if you guys get, it'll fix your dating life in ways you guys cannot imagine. Now, my worry is that it is a lot of content. Like, it is, and I'm not a fan of giving people a lot of content because I don't want informational junkies. But this is the best way to get it all at all in one price. Now, look, mind you, if you purchase the bundle, I'm just gonna be honest, there's no refunds. Purchasing the whole bundles. If you guys think you guys are not gonna like it, I will prefer if you guys buy one course to see if you like it. And if you don't like that course, you could get your money back and don't purchase the bundle. Right? But if you like that course, you guys can send me an email and say, hey, can I upgrade to the bundle? Pay the difference, and there you guys will get it. But it's just that, look, man, you guys know my content. If you like one course, you like it all, right? So that's the only caveat. But I know damn well, if you purchase it, your dating life will never be the same. Okay? Now, for those who purchase the courses but want to add to the bundle, you guys can message me and maybe we could come up with a price so that you guys can get it while being able to not have to pay all the crazy prices. Okay, so just click on the description down below. There you'll see the ability to purchase the wifey basic package, which is the one that you see here for $399 without the bundles and without the bonuses. But if you guys want to purchase it with the bonuses,
which is a lot of content, and I'm afraid because it's a lot of content, you guys can purchase it right here with either 4 payments of $200 or one-time payment of $7.99, right? And yeah, this is, and by the way, I made this design, you know, Father Radix is being inclusive here and stuff like that. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this. Hopefully you guys can support the channel by purchasing those courses, and I'll see you guys inside. Bye-bye.